Welcome, everybody. My name is John Dahl,
And I'm Nolan Weiss.
and we are the co-founders of Red River Leadership. And we want to lead off by just saying thank you to the Northwestern Minnesota Synod for having us involved in this year's Synod Assembly. So thank you very much for having us. And I want to encourage you to stick around for the very end of this video. We have 3 tips that you can implement today or even in the next couple of days to boost what you're doing online, to boost what you're doing as a worship ministry or as an online church.
You might be wondering what Red River Leadership is. We are an ever-growing resource of coaching, trainings, and tools to help give ministry leaders an edge.
Yes, and before we talk anymore, we want you to hear from some of the churches, some of the pastors that we've worked with along the way recently, and just to get an idea of what it is that we do. So take it away.
Hey, this is Pastor Jack. Just gonna give you a recommendation for Red River Leadership. They helped us out tremendously with our sound and audio-visual stuff that we just put in. We needed some technical advice, and John and Nolan were willing to give that. They came up and did it, and we're better off for it. They really know their stuff, and like I say, we are blessed to have them in this area so that we can use their expertise and tap into them. And they're willing to do that. Just give them a call and go from there, because once you explain what you're looking for or what issues you might be having, both John and Nolan are more than willing to get back with you in a timely manner and talk with you face to face or on phone and just work things out. So again, we are really blessed to have Red River Leadership with us, and we are better off here at Grace because of their expertise. They are a blessing to be a blessing. All right, take care.
Hi, I'm Brian Katz, the pastor of New Mount Zion Lutheran Church in rural Southwest Virginia, as well as the mission developer of a new digital mission start out of the Virginia Synod called Peace and Hope. I am so appreciative of the services that Red River Worship provides so that we, as church leaders, can more effectively proclaim the gospel. The internet is obviously full of Christian resources, but many of them are not grounded in a Lutheran faith tradition, nor are they customized to fit the needs of our congregations. When we think of the body of Christ as being one body with many members, we sometimes make the mistake of looking for resources only in our congregations, communities, or synods. However, through the partnerships that are similar to the ones that Red River Worship provides, we are all able to work together to provide effective ministry in order to advance our missions. I am extremely thankful for the work that Nolan, John, and others are doing to help provide the great resources to all of us to make our ministries more effective.
Hi, my name is Maggie Garberg-Falenchek. I serve as a chaplain and director of campus ministries at Gustavus Adolphus College. Here at Gustavus, we have a growing worship ministry and super talented student musicians. And as our community continues to grow, I knew we needed a little extra help to take our worship ministry to the next level. And so I reached out to John and Nolan from Red River Worship, and they were able to come down to Gustavus for an afternoon and work with our student leaders on how to lead our congregation in song, to work on transitions, and just generally create a environment that cultivates a meaningful connection with God. And for me as a leader, I was able to consult with John and Nolan on easy and affordable next steps and equipment purchases that would really take our production to the next level. We love John and Nolan here at Gustavus. Our students absolutely loved working with them, and we've already invited them to come back next fall and work with us again.
The life of a working preacher. I'm sitting outside the church, locked out because I forgot my office keys at home and my secretary's not here yet. And I have a Lake Superior Conference cabinet meeting starting soon on Zoom. So I'm a bit worried about that, but I'll tell you what I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about our audio visual at Holy Cross Lutheran Church here in Duluth, Minnesota. Did you know I have family from the Red River Valley, and it's one of the few rivers that flows north right into Lake Superior. Actually, not into Lake Superior, but there is a current of Red River that flows all the way to us, and that's the reason why I'm not worried about our audio visual. Red River leadership. This year has been quite difficult and taxing and very stressful. But as soon as John and Nolan arrived on the scene and in my life, it's one less thing I've had to worry about. Their expertise, but not only that, their genuine care, and often phone calls just to check in to make sure that we're doing okay. And of course, looping back to their expertise, they've made great recommendations for our audio. Just received a new Behringer audio soundboard, and we are now working on upgrading our visual experience as well in church, because we know the future is hybrid. We'll never get beyond our church building. We're always going to need that, and we've started a capital campaign to shore that up. But also we need to be a presence online, and I didn't know how to do that, but Red River has definitely helped in that regard. So I want to personally thank John and Nolan and encourage you to check them out. Thanks, and God bless.
Awesome. Thank you so much for those of you who sent in some of the testimonials. We have it's been a joy to work with you and help out. One of the things that we are most passionate about is our hymn library. So like I said earlier, my name is Nolan. I have been a worship leader, a musician all of my life, and started playing organ when I was in the 6th grade. And I've been playing anything from organ to piano to guitar to drums and singing and leading worship for over 15 years. A couple of years ago, John and I were leading worship at a Synod youth gathering when, after our worship set, we met with a leader from a church, a lady from a church, and she asked us, "Is this how you worship all of the time?" And we were like, "Yeah, pretty much." And she told us that they can't even find an organist. They can't even find a piano player to lead worship. And what they're doing at that point was downloading YouTube videos from strangers that they had no idea the quality or the consistency, or if it followed the Lutheran hymnal. But that's the only option that they had. And John and I looked at each other and were like, we have to change this. And so 2 years ago, we started recording the Red River Leadership Digital Hymn Library, led by us who are worship leaders in the Lutheran Church. It has options of just audio, or you can have, if you have screens, you can put the lyrics up on the screens that come with it. Check it out today on our website. Look for Red River Leadership Hymn Library.
Well, thank you, Nolan. Along with some of the music resources we have in the digital hymn library, and we have other worship pads and things that you can use in worship that you can download that Nolan has played right there in his studio specifically for your church. We also do coaching and we do training specifically in worship and music, worship leadership, but also in technology. We do consulting. If you're looking at putting in new gear, new technology, we are happy to sit down with you or get on a Zoom call and walk through some of those things. When I was first getting started as a worship director here at Good Shepherd and Moorhead, I struggled to know kind of what direction we should head, what gear we should invest into. In fact, I put it on a pedestal. I got nervous about it. I was like, all right, if we're going to raise these dollars, I mean, this is thousands of dollars that we're choosing to spend, that we're choosing to invest into our worship and church. what do we purchase? What do we buy? Where do we even start? And so I found myself a lot on Google and trying to just read reviews, and that got frustrating because one guy would say this, another guy would say that. So what I found was that I had to start reaching outside of our church, and just having good conversations with other churches, and often reaching outside of the Lutheran church, and asking, what are you guys using? How are you using these tools, these gear? And through learning it the hard way year after year, and finally kind of coming out going, okay, now I have a good knowledge base myself, but it took many years to get there. We decided we needed to help other churches through this process. So a lot of what Red River Leadership provides in terms of training and coaching, is just that, being able to walk alongside you. We're all in completely different situations. We kind of feel like we're dealing with the same thing because we're praising the same God. We're doing Sunday morning worship as best as we can. We're all doing similar things, but when it comes down to the details and where and how we spend our money, we're all in different, unique situations. And so now, with working with churches in over 16, 17 states now, we've learned a lot about the different contexts that people are in. And we would just love to help you and to walk alongside you. We want you to know more than anything else through this video, through this session of the assembly this year, that you are not alone, that we are here to help you through some of these questions and navigate some of these decisions. So we are here for you in that way. And on top of that, we do every Friday, Nolan and I, we sit down on Zoom just like this. We have our Friday morning coffees and our teas, whatever Nolan's having. And we talk about kind of whatever it is that we're hearing through our conversations with Red River Leadership churches that we're working with. We have different conversations every week, whether it's on the phone or if it's team Zoom calls, where we can work with people, or if we go on site to your church and work with you. We always get just a wide variety of questions. And so what we do is we collect a list of what those questions are, and then we talk very specifically on our Friday morning Zoom calls. So if you haven't yet, find us on Facebook, Red River Leadership. We also have our worship band page, the Red River Worship. But make sure you look for Red River Leadership, and that's where we go live every week. And then we also go live then onto our YouTube page. So if you're a YouTuber, if you're often going on there to find good training and coaching, please look us up on there and find the videos that we have. Punch in the specific questions that you have, because that's the key to this whole thing, is really digging into those specifics, and the things that we're all dealing with together.
Well, and so much is changing. It is hard to keep a pulse on what technology is doing and how to enhance what we are doing. But we all know, to reach the next generation of worshipers, for us to hand the church over to, we need to be reaching new people all the time. And so that is our goal, to continue for our churches and for all the churches that we get to work with, to help enhance, to help give an edge, so that we can connect with more and more people to lead them to Jesus.
Yeah. Awesome.
And exciting news, we are starting something new. John, tell us.
Yes. Drum roll, please. We are pumped. We're going to be starting a podcast here, the Red River Leadership Podcast. Maybe we'll make up a different name or a cooler little tagline there. But we're so excited. We use podcasts every day. I'm always listening to podcasts, and finally, Nolan and I were like, we need to get this out. We're learning a lot through our Red River Leadership coaching and trainings that we want to start sharing that more frequently and just get it out on different platforms. So if you're a podcaster, look for that coming out soon. And probably the fastest way is to make sure that you're following us on Facebook and YouTube, as we'll be talking about that when we do launch, and how to find that. So.
And the biggest reason that we're doing all of these different ways to get our content out is so that you can feel like we are an extension of your team.
Yeah.
I know both John and I grew up in small congregations. We have a heart for rural congregations. And so we know that in smaller contexts, that it is hard to have resources. It's hard to find people. It's hard to hire full-time positions, like John and I both are, to have on your team, to work on tech, to work on music, to work on all the different things that we have to work on as ministry leaders. And so the Q&As that we do, the hymn library, the podcast that's coming up are all ways that we are working to be extensions of your team. So it feels like you can just call us up. You can just put us on your car speakers as you're driving to work or to your appointment or to get groceries, where it's like, oh, I never thought about that. And another way that we do that is by connecting via a discovery call. We call them discovery calls. It's a way that we can connect with you, and you can ask questions, and there's no cost to that, where we can just start a conversation. We can give you a little feedback. We can get a little bit of context in your congregation, what you're up to, so that we can start to already pour into your ministry.
Yeah. And I mean, right. We want to walk alongside you much longer term, but in a discovery call like that, we can help you find some quick wins, hopefully, and go, yep, you know what? We tried that for a while, but if you actually do it this way, like that's going to work over here without spending any money. Or, hey, oh, you already have that piece of gear in play. You can actually use it this way to get this thing done. And not that we have all the answers, but we just love bouncing ideas off of each other and going, okay, this could work over here. And how does this work? And if it's something that we don't know, we have just a great network of people that we can reach out to and get involved to in the questions, or at least point in the right direction on whatever that is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So a second thing that you can do right now, we had just been kind of digging into this. So if you're pointing people to Facebook, or you're pointing people to YouTube, whatever your platform is, Vimeo, whatever your online, your website, whatever your online platforms are, make sure that you're really intentional about what your profile picture is, what your thumbnails pictures are, and what your cover photos are. So what I mean by that is, when you go to your channel, for instance, on YouTube, you're going to have a profile pic, and then you're going to have that bigger banner of a cover photo on top. And those two specifically need to be intentional. I've come across so many that just have a picture of their church, or don't have anything at all, or have like a letter, or
a stock photo from Google.
Exactly, a stock photo from Google. And this isn't to tear anyone down. I mean, this is just because we just don't know, and we're learning this together. So make sure you go look at your online platforms and make sure that your pictures are intentional. What I mean by intentional is, when people are scrolling through social or scrolling on YouTube, they're a big percentage of why they're going to click on your video or click on your profile is based on the visual experience that they get from not even clicking on your video yet. So what does that look like? What is your profile picture? What's your cover photo? You want it to be something that shows your mission. One example, Calvary Lutheran Church, where Nolan works, they have this banner of like 5 or 6 different images that they've created for free on canva.com. It's a free, awesome resource that I use every day. I was going to say every week, but I think I'm on there literally every day, because it's free and it's easy to use. But you make a banner on the top, and it's a bunch of different pictures of kids, of a worship experience, of Calvary at the Lake, VBS, like whatever you want to put in there, just to show the life and excitement of your church and the things that are going on. And then as your profile picture, they have the Calvary logo. And you guys are working hard. You just rebranded. You made a new logo at Calvary. So you're kind of rebranding that, getting that logo more familiar with people. But I think that's a great starting place, is having your profile picture as your logo to help with your church branding overall. And then as your cover photo, having it something that's going to help tell the story of your church visually.
And how important is it to have a good brand? I could hold up different brands that are familiar to us without having the name on it, and we would instantly connect that to what it is.
Right.
McDonald's or Coke.
Exactly.
Or a business that we use, Zoom, maybe even YouTube, Google. I could have it up without the word, and we would know instantly. And that's what we want our churches to do, so that when they see that logo, they know instantly, they connect it to you.
Yeah.
So that we can bring more and more people, like I said earlier, into a relationship with Jesus Christ.
Right. So get those photos updated, get them intentional. And if you have questions about how to do that or need advice on which pictures to use, give us a call. That's the kind of thing that we're here for, is just to walk alongside you and give you some advice wherever we can.
And our third tip that you can do right now today is, we are all worship leaders, ministry leaders, but first we are worshipers. And so something that's been really important to both John and I have been outside of our job, finding places that we can worship.
Right.
Especially this last year, it has been online. So our third tip for today is find an online place, an online community, church community where you can worship. For two reasons. Again, we're worshipers first, and we need to be filling our cup more than we are pouring out of it into other people.
Yeah.
And I know that's something that we do, right? We're always pouring
Right.
out. We need to be able to fill that cup, to pour
Right.
out, to spill into other people's lives. And the second reason that we recommend that is a great way for us to see other ideas. It's a great way for us to have a vision for what we want to do. And it can be just one place that you really connect with, or it can be many different places, to see camera angles, or how they have lyrics and photo on the screen, or what the sound sounds like, or what kind of music or liturgy or sermons that they are doing. So we're filling ourselves up and we're learning at the same time. That's a double win.
Right. Absolutely. Oh, that's a great tip. Well, thank you for making it to the end of the Red River Leadership session here today. If you haven't already, find us online, find us on YouTube, Facebook, go to our website, and please reach out with any question that you have. There's no dumb question. Somebody just the other day is like, this is probably really dumb, but we don't understand how to do it. And we're like, do not call it dumb. There's no dumb question. What one person thinks is dumb, the other person thinks was genius. So reach out with anything you got. We're here for you.
We'd love to connect with you.
Yeah.
God bless.
God bless you. Bye-bye.